up in the room. She's drunk, he bought mad blunts too. He high, we bought more blunts through. We high at the parachute party, throwing up in the room. She's drunk, he bought mad blunts too. He high, we bought more blunts through. We high at the parachute party. Attention all whack rappers, stop the chit chatter. Your dime is fine, but I been had her. Soul stones, roll stones like a Mick Jagger. Sex game, climax, a thoroughbred satisfactor. Be that dope money attractor. Triple stack backpacker, that's the X factor. I'm Ziggy Swan, Mr. Fly nigga, bitch grabber. No time you wasting, if you roll my nigga, get at her. What are you to do when your new car's my old car? Especially when my new car is a show car. Maybe Ferrari, Daimler.
Bismillah, El-Rahman, El-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Rahman Rahim. Maliki Al-Madin. Welcome to another episode of Woo Dogs, Pots and Politics, where we talk about what's going on all over the world from an urban perspective while I cook up that lean, mean cuisine. Nah, I mean, in today's episode, we gonna be rocking that what I call conscious cabbage. Conscious cabbage, God, because it tastes so good, it puts something on your mind, boy. It puts something on your conscience. Speaking of conscience, you gotta love the way Ted Crewz just cruised out of Texas once the going got tough, once things got hot. He was out of there.
While his fellow Texans are freezing with the power out, Ted Crewz did what any great leader would do when his state needs leadership most. He booked a flight to Mexico and said, adios, amigos.
He was out of there. You know what I'm saying? He probably had a good excuse or a good reason.
Surrounding ERCOT this week, you may not be surprised to learn that some of the board members don't even live in Texas. Turns out the board's chair lives in Michigan, the vice chair in Maryland. Another member lives in Canada.
But do you think that it mattered to the families that were suffering from the electrics going off and the power being gone like that? Real talk. I'm going to let you know this. You can have excuses or you can have success and results. But you can't have excuses and success. Can't have them both. Got to pick one. And that's real talk. You know, the people in Flint, the children, the kiddies in Flint, don't you know that they water to this day, it still got lead on there? To this day, still got lead in the water. Kids are still affected mentally with diseases and sicknesses that are irreversible, non-reversible from that water. That still to this day what's going on in Flint right now with that water. Still, look at what happened with Texas right now with that power. You know, I wonder what's on the conscious minds of the senators and those congressmen that let those people down like that in those states right there. What's on their mind? How can you sleep at night? Do you have a conscience? You know, I was told that you can't truly do evil and have a conscience. In order to do evil to that degree, you got to be conscienceless. Because if you got a conscience, it's going to make you feel bad. You ain't going to be able to sleep at night. It's going to mess you up. So if you want to truly be evil, you can't be having no conscience with that. And looking at the way that just things seem to be going on around us today, it seems like the powers that be don't have not near conscience to them. You know what I'm saying? But here at Pots and Politics, we got a conscience. We care about the people, and we care about how they're living, and we care about what they're eating. That's why I like to just pray to God that they give us the strength that we need to make it through these times like these. I pray to the Most High that He gives these people of power some type of conscience for them to pay attention to the neglect and what they're doing to the people and have a change of heart to get things better. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I gotta give a special shout out to my brother, my man Hakim, bless the stem, that blessed us with the boom mic for the studios. You know I gotta give a shout out to him. Gotta give a shout out to all my 5 bros. I always do. And a shout out to Shemmy's Greenery, Shem Rock, Shimmy. And I gotta also give a chili. And I gotta also give a shout out to Hustlenomics and Owners Illustrated Magazine. Oh, and I can't forget Dolo, King Dolo in the Great Navy. Don't you know the Great Navy rules the 7 seas?
No cap. You know you own, like the movie Blow. I let defense get away, my offense said no.
Blessings. Yes, y'all. So check it out now. I'm going to tell you something really good. People were saying you always making main courses in your shows, Daru. When you going to make some side dishes and let us see how the side dishes be tasting? Because every time when you do your show and you cook the main entree, when you put it on the plate, the side dish is already cooked. We ain't seen how you made that. So with this conscious cabbage that we about to make, these are the ingredients that you're gonna be needing. Hit it!
Extra, read all about it. It's me, Steezel, that has been doubted. I came to make you move and groove and get down. There's no way that the crowd can sit down. Off the record, this is the anthem. And if you try, I came to damp them.
What other chef do you know that dances out the ingredients and busts his flow on his cooking show? Yo, the answer is no. You don't know nobody that get loose and get down like me when it comes down to this pots and politics, getting down on this style right here. Now, we're gonna get into this, getting started, getting busy. Alright, so now, you know I got that magic grease. One day I'm gonna tell y'all the ingredients to my magic grease. Look at that. You don't even know how many seasons and other things I done cooked in this grease before, that when I pour it on here, boy, yeah. Somebody said, how much magic grease do you pour in here? Okay, well, I'ma tell you, that's about a good couple little teaspoons, tablespoons, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Now, once you pour that magic grease in there, you know what I'm saying, you get ready to throw in your onions, your peppers, and you throw in your Italian and beef and turkey sausage. Italian sausage and beef Eckrich sausage. And you put it in there, okay? And you put it in there with your seasoning. Your seasonings. This is a little tambric. I might tell you a little something what I'm doing. A little salt. Not too much. We don't want that high blood pressure. Little pepper. Yes, mom. Yeah. And we gonna let that rock and roll and rock. Making sweet love till you never stop. Up the potatoes right here. And of course we got a half a head of cabbage cut in strands. Okay? Now you're gonna let this cook in this pot right here. You're gonna let these peppers and onions and sausages cook in this pot right here for about, I wanna say, a good 10-15 minutes. Not too long other than that, because all you want to do is just pre-cook it a little bit. While you letting that cook for that little 10-15 minutes, you're going to also stir it up a little bit in that magic grease. Now, you may got magic grease of your own. Ah, yes, look at how that's doing that. Okay? But if you don't have magic grease, because I'm sure not going to tell you how to make mines, you know, I'm about to sell that to y'all. It's going to be Pots and Politics, Woo Dog's Magic Grease when I start having my little, you know, spice line and oil line. I'm going to be selling and pushing and promoting my own cooking products. So, while you're letting this cook, if you don't have magic grease, you can use olive oil. You could also use vegetable oil, or you could also use canola oil, man. But you just make sure that you coat the bottom of whatever pan that you're using. So that's another reason why I didn't give you a full measurement of what oil to use, because at the end of the day, it depends on how big the pot is that you're using and how much of the cabbage that you're making. So the correct answer to that is whatever oil you like to cook with or that you have, coat the bottom of the pan. Let's take another look and see how we got this going on. See how this is cooking up? You see how the onions are caramelizing. That is what you want. Yes, yes. And like I told you, see that? Yes, that's cooking up just right. Look at them sausages browning. Okay, so like I told you, you want to do that for about a good 10 to 15 minutes. But for the sake of the show, we're going to act like we did do that for 10 or 15 minutes. Now, after we do that, we're going to add the chicken broth more. And you're going to add the chicken broth right on in there with that. Remember now, you would have let it cook 10 or 15 minutes before you had did that. Then you're going to add the beautiful shredded lettuce. Yes. 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 This cabbage put something on your mind, baby. And then you're going to add the diced potatoes. Some people say that the potatoes got to be diced. Can they be sliced? They could be anything you want except mashed. All right? You put mashed potatoes in there if you want to. Then you do your own cooking show. You doing something that I ain't never heard of. You got to show me that. You know what I'm saying? But once you do that, excuse me, comprende. Once you do that, you want to mix it in here. Stir it up. Take your time. And stir the cabbage up nice. And make sure that it gets mixed in to that chicken broth and that magic grease real nice. Yes. Man. Conscious cabbage. What's on your conscience? Tastes so good, it sits on your conscience, and you be thinking like, I want to make this at home. I want to try this myself. Which you can. You see? Because cooking is for everybody. Everybody eat. Everybody eat. Okay? So all you got to do is just know what you like and know how you like it to be made. And then you are a chef at that moment. The moment you start cooking for yourself and your family, you ain't got to go out here, get all this type of degrees and certificates. For all of those that do, I will never knock that. But I've seen people make much money, good money, millions of dollars cooking who don't have not a degree to first. All they had was a recipe. Either it was passed down or they created it themselves. You think Famous Amos went to cooking school? Do you think that McDonald's, Mr. McDonald's went to cooking school? You seen the movie? There's none of that. They know how to cook. They know what they like. And out of making what they like and cooking what they like, people come and taste it and they like what they taste. And then they become rich and famous from that. Like how you seeing me do right before your eyes at POLITIC, Woo Dog POLITIC. So I'm going to do an abracadabra trick on you real quick while we let this cook up. You know how I do my cooking magic. Let me get my magic Woo Dog, magic wand, magic spoon, POLITIC joint, and I'm going to do an abracadabra joint on you, and I'm going to disappear like abracadabra. All praises to the Most High. You know, all I ever wanted was to make people happy and also to be happy myself. I produced magazines and published magazines with my brother. I've made music with my brothers and records and toured the world, you know, but nothing, believe it or not, has been fulfilling as coming up here and making food for people to eat and bringing joy and happiness. Have you ever gave a plate of food to a homeless man? Have you ever seen what it's like to give something great as a meal to someone that does not have nothing? You know, and you know, you're not getting anything in return. They don't have any money to give you, so the only thing that's in return that you get is the good feeling of knowing that they appreciate what you're doing, you know, and the feeling you get in yourself. Let me tell you something. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to realize in this world that you ain't going to give back as much as you give out, as much as you give in. So when you're giving out and when you're giving in and you're doing things, do it because it's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it because you expect something back. Don't even do it because you expect blessings back from Allah, like the Quran and the Bible say He will do when you do zakat like that. Don't even do it for only that. Do it because it's in you to do it. It's your heart to want to give. It's your heart to want to love. Because you don't even never know when the next time you might be the one that needs to be given to. You might need something one day. You may become a have-not one day. And you're going to want to have help, love, and understanding. So never ever take your position for granted and never ever take nobody else's position for granted neither. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you, sometimes me, sometimes us told you that. Oops. I said, what am I saying? I said, what you said was, sorry, but I told you, I got to work on that. Comprende? Let's go. Let's see how it's cooking up in the pussy. Looking nice and hot. See what a brother got. Yeah. Look at them seasonings, blendings in. Blendings and zins in. You know, you gotta cook them to the potato get nice and soft. See, still gotta cook some more. Yeah, you know, I'm doing a speedy little rush joint. But the only reason why I could do that, because I know how to cook, baby. And I know how to you know, speed it up and still make it taste nice. But if I was on my own, if I was on my real woo doggy, chef boy woo dog, I would be cooking this. I could cook this for about a good 2 hours to get the right consistency and taste that I want of this. And I would cook it real low. I'll cook it low. Like right now, you see what I got my little joint on. If I was cooking it for me, it'll be about right there. Maybe even right there. And it'll be like that for about a good hour and a half. With me coming back, stirring it, you know, on a consistent basis, just to make sure it be right. You see that? You know, potatoes, onions, turkey sausages, and cabbage. You know, they used to call this a poor man's meal. You know, back in Russia, I was told stories from friends of mine that I have. I had a teacher who was a close friend of mine who was from Russia, and he told us how it was real when they was going through what they was going through back in the 50s over there. They was so poor that they had one potato that they would get in the morning at school for breakfast, and that potato would have to last almost like the whole half a day, or to the end of the evening of their schooling over there. And the potato served more than just one thing, just feeding them. It was a warm potato. And a lot of times it was so cold over there in Russia that the students would hold the potatoes close to them and use it to warm their hands and sometimes warm their cheeks. That's an actual fact. Now, you know, when you a young dude in school, you a bad little kid. I know I was a bad kid in school. So when you first hear those stories and stuff coming like that from your teachers and elders, you know, it's hard for you to fathom that. But when you become older of age and you start to learn those histories and those stories, and now they got Google, the internet now for y'all. They didn't have that all the way like that when we were younger. You know, we could actually look on there and see the facts and the truths and these stories and these tales that our friends and teachers once told us that we were too young to understand. Imagine that, having to use your food not only to keep your body warm on the inside, but on the outside too. Life is a blessing. Allah is good. All praise is due for those that Allah provides for, and please Allah bless those who need to be provided for. In your name we say, amen. Now back to that pot. Let's see what we got. Like I told you, gotta keep it stirred up. Yes, this is about ready to be served. About ready to be served. It might be time for me to do another magic trick on y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know I got my magic spoon wand. You know, when I cook, I always use a couple of woo spoons of love. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, how many tablespoons? How many teaspoons? It's 100 woo spoons. 100 woo spoons of love in every dish that I make, in every meal that I create. And it's always filled with love, because I ain't got no time for the hate. Now watch this magic. What do you want to do in this world? What do you want to be in this world? You're going to leave your mark in this world. If your life was a book, would somebody read it? Would anybody read it? What, when you die, will people talk about you when you dead? And if they do, what will they say about you? What would they say about the life you live? You know, these are things you might want to think about when you wake up in the morning and start your day off to live your life. Am I doing good? Am I doing right? Or if I'm doing something I know how to business doing? You know, am I a good person by nature, or as I'm bad? You know, because believe me, there's not no such thing as not knowing that you are good or bad. People that do bad know they doing bad, straight up, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you are a person that needs help on your character and need help to become a better person, it's out there for you. All you gotta do first is wanna be good, wanna be better, because it doesn't matter how many classes, programs, therapists, teachers, people that want to help you, that want you to do good, to talk to you about being good, if it's not in your heart to already want to be good on your own. You gotta want to be good first because of you, before anybody can ever help you become a better person. And that's just a Fendi fact though, you know what I'm saying? Again, working on that. Comprende, you feel me? All right, let's roll. Bow! I'm back. Ain't camera magic a trip? It's cute. Let's see what we got in the pot. True. Yeah, this is just right. Right here is where we stop. Okay? Now, the potatoes is just smashed right. Yes, look at how nice and easy the potatoes smash. That's good. Good, they cooked all the way through. That's good. That's what you want. You want the potatoes to cook all the way through. You got your cabbage. This is sovereign cabbage, sovereign style. And like I told you, at Possum Politics, we like to laugh, joke, and play. But we don't play with food. And no matter how hood we may seem, we always bring perfection to that plate. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy! It's time to eat! Yeah. Check it out now. It's time to recap like how we always do. You know I love cooking for y'all, man. I really do. I enjoy cooking for people and making them laugh and making y'all happy while feeding y'all bellies at the same time. You know, laughter is a gift from the Holy Creator, you know. I like to bring joy at times like these where a lot of people is going through it. We talked about the consciousness of the mind and the powers that be. How are they thinking Or are they even thinking when it comes to them governing the people? Shout out to Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Texas. My prayers are with y'all. We also talked about Ted Crewz and how we slid off when things got hot. You have some explaining to do for that. It's not me to judge, but Allah is looking at everything we all say and we all do. We also talked about the cabbage with the potatoes and with the onions, and how, you know, back in the days, like I told you, I tell you the history of these foods. People use foods for more than just nourishment. You know, us as humans have to watch how we treat each other. We need to better ourselves, and we need to better how we treat each other. Until we learn that and put that in effect, the world is always going to be the way that it is right now, or if not like it is now, maybe even worse. So I say that to say this, like I always say, always do the right thing. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's in you to do what's right. Peace and blessings. Until next time. Woo dogs. Pots and politics.
Hey, yo, so, what's up, man? Yo, man, a lot of these MCs out here talking a lot of garbage, yo.
What? You idiots, man, forget that.
What's that question you need to ask the boss?
What you gonna say?
What you gonna do?
Hey, what you gonna say?
Come on, what you gonna do?
Yo, what you gonna say?
I'm asking what you gonna do.
Hey, what you gonna say?
Come on, what you gonna do?
Yo, I write the rhymes that you wish you could have written. Soul definition is the title I be fitting. No, I'm not from Compton, but mentality is Brooklyn. Silver Spring streets where the basement beats is cooking. Speaking of cooking, you stepped to this shit getting burnt. You thought you was a gangster, but you weren't. Acknowledge me, a rebel, way beyond your level.